What's up, guys? Today we're going to do something a little different. If you can see up, I'm trying to find the right angle. It's so weird to do that. There we go. If you can see that up there, that is actually a live thing of my screen right now. I'm actually doing a stream to all of the platforms I've got on the going live thing, or most of them at least. So if you're watching this on Facebook, awesome. I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat box down below. This time I think I'm pointing to the right direction. Woo! And then if you also have a Twitch account, you can follow me over there. I'm trying to get to my goal of 50 followers. And yeah, this is a live stream daily thing that I've been doing for music to perform with, and that way I can at least perform with somewhat of an audience, so that kind of works out. And today I'm going to be trying to make a beat on the spot in one of my programs, and I'm going to kind of step you through how I do this, how I go through some of my workflow. And I'd love to hear from you guys too. If you're a producer, I'd love to hear how you do it and what software you use. But yeah, so I'm going to try and attempt to make this work. Okay. Sure. All right, so right up here we've got Ableton Live. With Ableton Live, as the name suggests, it says that it's a live thing, but honestly, I've been using it forever just for your average productions, which a lot of people kind of do, and I'm happy with that. So what I've got going on here is a project. I call this one Live Stream, and this is what I've actually been using every day. It's kind of all set up with a vocal channel, my violin channel, some light processing on each of them. I've got a channel here just for the backing tracks that I use, and then just a limiter on the master. That way I can just bring it up a little bit and make sure nothing's absolutely clipping. I'm trying to do this in a very lazy way. That way I can minimize the workload that goes from Ableton Live into my streaming software, OBS. And the other thing too is that my computer, I'm running on an iMac right now. It is a quad-core processor with 32 gigabytes of RAM. And I'm going to be honest, it does handle the workload pretty well, but some things it still can stutter from time to time, so I'm trying to use the least amount of plugins possible, because more plugins means more CPU load. More CPU load means you're going to hear a lot of distortion and weird sounds. So yeah, so here's what I did so far. So far I've got a drum rack set up. And a drum rack is kind of like a sample pad where you can drag in your own samples. It's similar to an MPC sort of workflow. You can edit each sample individually. And then all you would have to do is just hit the button, and you would get your sound. So this is my kick, a snare that I found, and a hat. So all I would really have to do to get something going with that is just open up a little thing right here. This is I believe Ableton Live calls it a clip or a scene. I forget which one that is. But then you can start putting in these little blocks to create a MIDI sequence. And as soon as I finish all this up, then I hit playback, then I can loop this, and then I can start playing over it. Or I could actually go ahead and put it into an arrangement view, which is a little more traditional for digital audio workstations. This sort of live looping view is kind of unique to Ableton Live. I'd like to hear if any other DAW users out there, if there's another DAW similar to Ableton Live with this kind of a workflow, but to my knowledge, I'm not really sure. So I'm going to start by doing something like... So I want to play this back and make sure I did get it in time. And here's what it sounds like. So the first thing that I'm going to say is it's really fast. So I do want to slow that tempo down. Yeah, I want to get like a nice little ride feel. I'm going to add those hats. So really simple. It's okay. I'm not gonna do a whole lot more to it. If anything, if I had to use one plugin on these, other than like something obvious like EQ, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time doing that because once I go down that rabbit hole, I'm going to have to start EQing everything, and that's not really something I want to do right now. But something that I would like to do is add a compressor because I do want to give these samples a little bit more punch. So the one that I've been using recently would be, where does it go? Here, Supercharger. This one is from Native Instruments, and it's a nice little compressor, limiter sort of thing. So what I do want to do to this is I want to compress this with the main knob, dirt, punch. That's pretty good. Now, as you can see, I can bring up the headroom even a little bit if I want. And there we go. So that sounds pretty good to me. And then I found this sample right here. I'm curious to see what these two sound like together. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. All right, so it still needs a little more though. So we have drums, we have our bass, which is like a synth bass. And something else we could add to this is maybe, I don't know, maybe some pads, maybe. I do want to keep it kind of simplistic. So let's see what I got in Labs. This is Spitfire Labs, and me and my best friend Wizzy, we've been using this a lot. This is a free plugin with some amazing sound libraries. So I want to see what they have in here, and I'll let you hear some of these. They're just amazing. So maybe we'll add some pads. Maybe I'll see what else they have in here. One of the things that I do like a lot is the acoustic guitars in here, like the charango. These always sound really nice to me. And we could also add some reverb. So the way that I would want to use this is probably very minimally. I'd say once every 2 measures. And let's see what we can do with that. So I would say, let me make this a 4-measure beat. So let's drag it down. Let's make it a little lower sounding. Can I go any lower than that? No, I cannot. So that's the limit of my G. So I want one there. And then I want a triplet roll right here. And then we're going to do that again right here at the end. Let's hear how this came out. Okay, I'm kind of digging that. That's pretty cool. If you're hearing some weird clicking noises going on now, that's because I'm starting to add more and more instruments and plugins. So like I said, I'm trying to keep this minimal, but as the more you add, then my buffer size currently is set to 32. It's kind of low. That's the lowest I can to try and get in software monitoring, so that when I'm playing back for my live streams, you're actually hearing really what I'm playing through the software. So I'm going to turn that up to 64, and you'll probably have noticed that the weird clicking noises are a little less now, so that's good. Might have a little bit more latency when I start to play, but we'll see what we can do with that. So I like what I got set up there. I kind of want to add an echo. We're going to see how that turns out. There we go. That sounds pretty nice. Cool. So now we got something pretty nice going on there, and I want to get back to those pads that I was talking about. So let's see what Labs has for some pads. Let's just take a look. So when you drag it in, there's actually all the instruments are in this big panel right here, and then the subsets, the styles, the genres, what kind of instruments they are could be kind of categorized in this left panel right here. So if I wanted to, I could actually look for synth. Let's see, we have a modular piano, synth pads, there we go. So here we can press the play button and kind of hear a demo. And then we got these as well. I'm just going to look for something nice and simple, so I'm probably just going to go with this first one. So I kind of like that. The Labs itself, or the pads, it's kind of low in the mix, and there's not a whole lot I could do about that in Labs. So the best thing that we can do now is just go back to our mixer and just start leveling some of these out. So noticeably, I think what the loudest thing is probably right now is that sub bass, followed by the drums. Now, if we took everything down, now I can start bringing things up to kind of how I want it to be. So we know that we don't really want to bury the pads too much. I would turn up the sub a little bit. There we go. I think that's ready to play over. So yeah, this is one of the ways that I approach song making and beat making when I'm producing by myself. And this is a really simple way to do it. Am I gonna say that this is a great beat? No, it's not. It's a simple beat, and that's really what I was setting out to make today. But that's part of my thing too, is that I can create something simple like this, and you know what? Maybe I didn't like the way that snare sounded. Maybe I didn't like the way any of the drums sounded. I can replace those samples later on if I want. I can find a different bass sound if I wanted. I could apply filters and I could really shape that the way that I really want it to sound. I could do that with almost any instrument, because that's the cool thing about DAWs is, hey, you save it as a project and you can always come back to it. And that's honestly what I find myself doing the most is I will create a song idea. I will save it, and then I might throw it in a drawer for several months. And then maybe several months later, I'll be looking through all the project files on my computer, and I'll find it, and I'll say, "Oh, I remember this. Well, let's listen to it." I'm like, "Ugh, that was terrible." Or I could say, "Oh, you know what? Maybe I could actually use that. Let's see what I could do to change that." And that's actually what I've done with several of my original songs, is that I've taken typically old projects and I just given them a second look. And that's a really good way to, just get out of any songwriting slump you might have too, is, hey, what you think is a slump right now, it might be gold in 6 to 8 months. You have no idea. So, in the comment section, hey, what's up, Elliot? You said, great, man. Thanks. Appreciate that. So, now that I've kind of got that done, the one thing that I do want to make sure that I do is that since I did have some fun jamming on this for a while, I do want to go and hit Save Live Set As. The reason why I'm doing that and not Save Live Set is because this is my live stream set that I use for backing tracks and stuff. So I really don't want to save over this, but I can go drop that in a new project file and I'll say live stream practice. I'm not even going to bother putting a date down because I have no idea what today's date is. I'm not even sure what today is. Is today a Monday? A Tuesday? I really don't know anymore, but that's okay. So yeah, now I've got this saved as practice live stream. That's pretty good. And then I can just kind of go back to open recent set, go back to my old live stream, and here we go. Now I'm back in what I've been using for my daily live streams. Elliot says, you can see clearer later on. Same with making a painting. That is very true. It is. I agree with you on that. So, yeah, that's one thing about, you're right. Same with a painting. So, I mean, same with any art form, really, is that if you're working on something creative and you feel like you're in a rut, take a break. Doesn't matter how long that break is. It could be an hour, it could be a day, it could be a month, a year, but you come back to it. Look at that project objectively after you come back, and you're going to appreciate it more. And then you might have more life experiences and say, wow, you know what this could really use? And then that's where the inspiration comes back in. All right, so this song is actually one of my favorites. This is not an original song. This was actually from a video game called Shovel Knight. And this is a song from their soundtrack, but this is the remix version by James Landino. And he actually released this song under a Creative Commons license, which was kind of him. So I've been using it as one of my favorite songs to play over. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure I have a music video of this one still up on my page. I got to check and see. But the music video to shoot this one was really fun. I shot it in a hookah lounge late at night. And somebody had a bright idea about halfway through the shot. They said, you know what would be great if we had a fog machine? Like, yeah, that would be a great idea. It just sucks that we don't have a fog machine. And then we all turned around and started looking at the hookah. And we used some hookah. We used vapes, mostly the vapes. And yeah, we just had a human fog machine sitting right out of the frame. It was hilarious. And he would just constantly blow these giant clouds to to keep it looking like there was a fog machine in the background with the lighting. And it came out pretty hilarious. And then by the end of the video, you can't even see anything anymore. It's just vape smoke. That's all it is. Just the entire room is filled with that, and we're coughing our lungs out. It was a great time. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and actually close out the screen. Boop. And now I get to actually play something. guys, and that's going to conclude my live stream for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope that you enjoyed the live on the spot beat thing that I did. If you guys like that, let me know. I'd like to do that more often. I'd like to bring some other people in to collaborate with eventually. And yeah, it'd be fun to, really start doing more of a live improv jam sesh. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, let me know how you guys, if you are producers, let me know how you guys go about making songs. I'd like to hear about your creative process, your workflow. If there's anything interesting to it, I do some other stuff too that I'll probably touch on another stream. But yeah, for now, that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed this, I do accept tips and donations through Facebook Messenger and PayPal. Facebook Messenger doesn't have any fees though, so it's a really good way to send friends and family and people money. So yeah, I do prefer Facebook Messenger over PayPal, but they're both available. Also, if you have a Twitch account, feel free to follow me on Twitch. I'm trying to make it to my goal of 50 followers. That way I can become a Twitch affiliate. When that happens, I'm probably going to move the majority of these streams over to Twitch, only because there's more money-making opportunities over there, and I can start doing some more streams and hopefully make some income over that, especially during this crisis currently. So yeah, those are the ways that you can help me out. If you don't have a Twitch account, that's fine. If you're interested, it's free. It only takes a couple minutes. So hey, you can do that. Otherwise, please share the video. Anything that you can do to help me, greatly appreciated. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Until next time.